Hey guys, this is John and Gordon, and today we wanted to talk about diversity hires in film and why we think it actually does more harm than good.
Everyone knows that they do diversity hires at corporate companies in general, but they also do it in film in regards to, and how we've seen it in the last couple of months is
from the perspective of people who work in film, who have been on sets, who work crew, and we see the ramifications of diversity hires.
Jordan Peterson says that you just need to hire the best people possible. And for instance, in engineers, in that world, 90% of engineers are men. And there's been companies out there that try to make it 50-50, men and women. Well, he's confronted that idea of that, well, it's mathematically impossible to not have a less quality company if you're just hiring based on diversity hires.
If you hire 50% women engineers and 50% male engineers, then the women engineers are less qualified because the pool of engineers is lower among women. So you can't hire 50% women engineers without producing a decrement in the quality of the engineers because this selection pool is too small.
So the same thing goes in film, where we've worked on sets where it has to be 80% black.
80% black.
And they have a right to do that, whatever. That's not what we're complaining about. What we're just pointing out is that it's so clear that it's just not going to be as good of a film.
Now, this company, the way that they get funding and everything, and their mission statement, it's all about inclusion and elevating black voices and making sure that black people have a place in this career field. So that's what their goal is. Their goal isn't to make good art. Their goal isn't not to make good content, good movies, good TV. It's not their goal at all. It's just to give black people jobs. That is their goal.
Well, I think that's secondary, right? Its secondary goal is to have a quality entertainment and to sell that.
By not putting that first and just their goal being to hire black people and give black people jobs. I mean, when we worked on those kinds of movies, on set, there are so many people who don't know what they're doing, don't care, and are complete fools. They're lazy.
Yeah. Look, it's hard. Film is so hard in general. To make a movie from start to finish is such a difficult thing. When you're limiting the type of people that you can hire, you're making it 10 times harder because it's so hard to find people that you gel with and you work well with creatively in the first place. And then when you, on top of that, they can't be white, it's like, dude, film is dominated by white people in general, right?
I think looking at it like that is the issue, because you're just choosing to notice the color of their skin. What you're not looking at is, okay, the people who control the industry are those who work all day.
Right. Yeah.
Hardworking people. That's who control the industry. The fact of the matter is, the U.S. has one of the largest film industries in the world, and the U.S. is mostly white.
It's close. It definitely is the biggest.
Also, think about what happens when you start doing these diversity hires. These people exploit this. They know they're going to be hired on the next project, regardless, because they have to be. I'm black. You have to hire me. Or you can't make your movie because you won't get your funding. It has to be 80% black. So these people keep getting picked up for the next project. And I stopped working with this one company for this exact reason, because I was doing all of the work. And I'm a person of color. But, that doesn't mean that everyone else gets to not do any work just because they know they're going to be hired for the next project. But that's what this allows. That's what this kind of mentality allows. It allows people who shouldn't have the positions they have to be totally lazy, suck at their job, and actually have people who work under them do all of the labor for them. And they get the credit. It's gotten so bad that one of the people we've worked with a lot, a producer and director who's white, actually has tried to, he just lost funding for the project. It was dropped by a particular company in the Atlanta area because he was white. And it's like, no, we need a black director. Well, they discussed, I'll direct and produce it. Just say that some black guy did it.
And that's happened multiple times before, and we've heard it from multiple different sources that happens. That they said that the person who actually directed it is not the person on the marquee. It is just the person that they placed there, and they're kind of like a puppet. We've heard that on multiple different things.
And we've seen it happen. The same guy, his last movie, when he was selling it, he put that his wife wrote and directed it because she's a woman, and the company he was selling it to only wants female-directed projects. But the woman didn't actually do any of the work. A white man did it. And so
it's all a scam. All a scam.
This is completely ridiculous. Obviously, this doesn't make any sense.
And I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all for doing that. He's just using the system. Why not?
Yeah. I'll just say a black person did it. I'll just say a woman did it. They don't know. People don't know. Who's going to say anything? We've heard rumors of this all the way up to Marvel, all the way up to the top, the biggest budget films. Puppet directors. And this is, I mean, think about it. The director sometimes doesn't even have to be on set. They could be at home, just directing from their phone. I've heard of that happening, especially during COVID. Oh, I'm sick. I can't come in. I'll just direct it from my iPad or something. Easy enough to get away with it.
We've heard too about the company that we've been talking about that hires diversity, like 80% of it has to be black. We've heard that and we have a friend that worked on it and he was white. They had 80% of the crew was black, but then they ended up having to fire a lot of them, and then they had to end up hiring mostly white people to recover. Because in the middle of the shoot, you don't have time to choose. You have to just take what you can get. So it's just like, it's wild. It is wild. And I mean, hey, that's the choice that they're making, and they have every right to do it with it, whatever. But I just don't agree with just the whole thought process in general. Just pick the best people. It doesn't matter what their color is. Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, the majority of your crew is going to be white.
In general, the movie, yeah, if it's a black story, and they say that you have to have a black director, and it's just the same with freaking James Franco and this Pablo Escobar thing. Well, the solution for all of this is for there to be more black writers, more black directors. There's so little of them that it's like there's just not as many quality people. There's so many more white people doing that it's just like, and same for women. Just if more women need to be writing, more women need to be directing. It's that same thing. Tell the stories that if you complain about a white guy writing a black story, well, you don't have a right to complain unless you write a freaking story, okay? And the problem is, and it's not really a problem, it's just people tend to hire their friends. So a white guy is usually going to have white guy friends. Usually. That just happens to be what it is.
Hiring in film goes from the top to the bottom. So the top person, let's say the director, producer, they're going to hire the next level down. And then he's going to say, hire who you guys want. So the next level down, they're going to pick their friends. So basically, it's all nepotic. I'm hiring my friends and my family to work with me. So if I get elected to be a gaffer, okay, the director isn't hiring my crew. They're not hiring my G&E team. No, I'm doing that.
It doesn't really matter because the company has the right to do whatever they want. The solution is, if you don't like the movies, don't go watch it. The solution is that because they are making worse movies. They're making worse movies because of that. But then on top of that, it's like just hire who you want to do it, and that's fine.
Hire the best people for the job. And actually, the structure of hiring doesn't support hiring the best people for the job. And it supports hiring your friends.
Right.
So I actually disagree with the hiring structure, because the gaffer is only going to hire his G&E friends. He's not going to hire the best people for the job. But then again, he doesn't know the best people for the job. He only knows his friends. Right. Who's he going to hire? My solution is stop giving an F about who does what. Stop caring about the color of their skin.
I agree with that too.
It shouldn't even be discussed what the demographics of the crew were. Who cares? Those guys don't even care about the movie typically. As far as they're concerned, they're just going to work. They don't care about if it's a white movie, a black movie. They don't care about that. They're just going to work.
So guys, let us know your thoughts. What do you think? Are you going to write a movie? What's going on?
Diversity hires suck. You can hire black people who know what they're doing, but they're not going to make up the majority of the crew. That's the reality.